The type of training that we're doing with you today is one that you're all familiar with and one that you have all practiced with your PE teachers throughout the year and especially after Christmas in your fitness block. It is, of course, circuit training. Vary your activities. Jogging, short distances. You could even do this on the spot. You don't need much space. You might want to start increasing the intensity at which you're working. Remember, intensity is how hard you're working. You want to progressively increase the warm-up difficulty. Okay, high knees at a higher intensity. Flexion and extension at the knee joint. Flexion and extension at the hip joint. Plantar flexion and dorsiflexion at the ankle. Sidestepping. Abduction, away. Adduction, 2. Abduction, adduction at the hip, ball and socket joint, and at the shoulder, ball and socket joint. Jogging at faster intensity. Try and keep up with me. Don't worry if you're doing it at home on the spot. Heel flex. Short-term effective exercise. Increase in breathing rate. You should start to be panting. Increase in heart rate. You've increased the blood flow to the working muscles. Some of you may start to experience an increase in body temperature. And certainly, by the end of the workout, you will want to feel tired. You may even feel nauseous. That does not mean there's anything wrong with you. It means you are perfectly fine. It is the body's response to exercise. It is a short-term effect. It won't last for long. Look after yourselves and drink water.
Walking lunges. Couple of steps. Lunge down, hold it for 2 seconds. Couple of steps. Lunge down, hold it for 2 seconds. If you want to, you can add a twist.
Okay, your next exercise are shimmer squats. So take a few steps and then squat down. You can add eccentric contraction. Steps. Squat down.
Rotation, stretching, upper body, hip, shoulders. So if you struggle with this, you can always flex at the knee and touch towards each toe. Try to extend fully behind you the opposite arm. Try and get the arm really straight and feel your body resisting and starting to stretch. You could speed it up because the idea is that with dynamic stretching, you're stretching and moving, you're not standing still. You will feel some discomfort in your hamstrings. This is perfectly normal. Do some hip rotation, look to the right, look to the left. Try to keep your body upright. And if you feel comfortable, increase the speed. Try to work your core, tighten your tummy muscles, your abdominals. Looking right, left, right, left.
Okay, for this stretch we're going to focus on our legs, particularly our hamstrings. So take a couple of steps forward. You're going to bend your leg out, sweep up, take a couple of steps. Really thinking about stretching that hamstring. You can either point your toe to the sky or keep it flat on the floor here.
Okay, this is the movement. I'm going to go through it slowly to begin with. First movement. I flex at the hip and bring the knee straight up in front. And then I'm going to take the knee out to the side and then down. So the knee comes up in front, out to the side and then down. At full pace. You might want to add in a little jog if you've got space.
I hope you're feeling fit and ready for the next part of the activity. We're not going to do phase 3 of a warm-up. For those of you that can remember, phase 3 of the warm-up would have been mental preparation, movement rehearsal. So for basketballers, you'll have done your layup drills. For footballers, you'll have done some short passing skills, maybe practicing some shooting, maybe build up some 1v1 jockeying, and for netball, you might be doing some footwork drills. So phase 3 is skill rehearsal and replicating movements, muscles, and energy systems. That's what warming up is all about. Circuit training, where we'll do a series of stations and we'll have a period of work and we'll have a period of rest. We call that the work-rest ratio. If I work for 30 seconds and I rest for 30 seconds, that is a 1-to-1 ratio. Now, you can vary the intensity as much as you want. You might want to only work for 20 seconds and have 40 seconds break. You might want to work for 40 seconds and have 20 seconds break. The intensity that you work at is how hard you're working. If you're working at a low to moderate intensity, about 120 to 180 beats per minute in that bracket, we're working aerobically. If you really want to push yourself, try the HITT, high intensity interval training. Work as hard as you can, for as fast as you can, and get as many press ups and squats as you can in those 30 seconds. That way you will be working anaerobically. Now don't forget, once you've done the circuit once, if we're not tired yet, do the circuit again. Do it a second or do it a third time even. Have plenty of water and don't forget to have your breaks between each circuit. And lastly, think about how often you're going to do it in the week. You should at least be doing it twice. Once when you have PE, once when you have games, but for some of you, you might want to be doing it 3 or 4 times a week. Others, you might even do it every day. That's the frequency that which you work at. That's how often you're working. So we've talked about how often we work, we've talked about the intensity, how hard you work for, and we've talked about how long we're working for. That's the time that we're working. And lastly, we've talked about the type, FITT, frequency, intensity, time, and type. Okay, with this first activity, we're actually going to mix 3 activities. We're going to do a squat with a mountain walk and a press up, and it will look something like this.
We're going to be doing push-ups, which is working our pectorals and our triceps. There's going to be various versions depending on the difficulty you would like to complete. The most difficult version for push-ups is to have a shoulder width stance, nice straight core, feet together. We're going to keep our elbows tucked into our side, all the way down, and all the way up, all the way down, all the way up. And keep your core nice and strong. Okay, second version, which is slightly easier. Our hands are going to go wider, about shoulder width and a half. Same feet together, our elbows flare out slightly. Still all the way down, all the way up, all the way down, all the way up. Final version, which is slightly easier, you're going to go to your knees. You're going to move your hands further out so you're still putting weight over the hands. Lower yourself down, looking forwards. Extend at the elbows, flex and extend at the elbows, all the way down, all the way up.
Twists. So we sit down on the floor, bottom, feet in front of you, hands in. Beside you, you can hold a bottle or you can hold anything heavy as weight. Lift your feet up so you're just balancing on your bottom. And twist from side to side. Keeping your back nice and straight.
When you step forward, we want to lower our back knee as close to the floor as we can without touching the floor. The second thing we want is alignment. We want our front knee to stay over the mid-sole of our foot. We don't want our knee to go over the top of our toes or beyond our toes. And lastly, we want to make sure that our legs and our feet, our knees and our feet stay in alignment and they stay facing forward. Next, we're going to look at a side plank. Again, we're going to be looking for alignment. Firstly, with the shoulder aligned with the elbow. The hand and the wrist will be flat on the floor. The shoulder will stay over the top of the elbow. Next, we'll be looking at alignment through the core. So we want our spine, our hips, our knees and our ankles, again, in as straight a line as possible by tensing our abdominals, by tensing our gluteals, quadriceps, hamstrings, right the way through the body.
Hi boys, hi girls, hope you're all doing well. Sorry we haven't seen each other for so long, and looking forward to really meeting you all next time we get that opportunity. So before then, make sure that you're keeping yourself fit, healthy and active. I'd like to give a big shout out to 10F, missing you desperately. You should have been getting your messages daily from me. Please be checking them, please be messaging me back. I hope that you're all doing really well. Big shout out to 7F and 7J, my PE and games classes. You've been doing fantastically at the quizzes. Please don't forget to send me in your heart rates, your ball scale ratings for how you're getting on the fitness tests. If you've designed your own, send me them in, draw a picture of them, take a photo of them. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you've been getting up to. Big shout out to 8G, missing you madly. Big shout out to 9F and 9K. You've been doing fabulously as well in the quizzes. Those of you that have tried, anybody that's not had a go at them, please make sure that you're accessing those this week. We've got some more summary based ones coming up before we meet each other next. And of course, my year 10 games classes. You know who you are, and hopefully we'll see each other all very soon.
Hi guys, Mr. Black here. Well done to those who have managed to keep up with all of your work, and well done to those who have done the PE quizzes. And please continue to do the circuit training sessions as much as you can. It's really important that you keep fit and healthy in this time. Massive shout out to the legendary tutor group 7F. Hope you guys are well, and I'll be speaking to you soon.
guys. Hopefully you're really shattered now and you're really quite tired or fatigued. You'll have built up a nice sweat. It's really important now that you do a bit of a cool down. Literally that can be you walking around the room, walking along the balcony, walking along a space in the garden if you've got it. A cool down should be active. You shouldn't just be sitting down and flopping. It's important that you keep moving through the cool down. That will keep the capillaries in the body open, dilated, and it will flush oxygen through the blood vessels, and it will remove any waste products that have built up in the blood, especially the lactic acid that can affect your movement and your contractions. So a nice cool down, please. Walking around, taking some nice slow deep breaths in and out as you do so. You might also want to finish with some static stretches as opposed to the dynamic stretches. So they are stationary stretches. So if we were working our arms, you might do a static stretch of the tricep where you look to the right and pull your arm in across to the left. The dynamic stretches you saw at the beginning can be modified so that you're completing the move but without moving. That's the difference between a dynamic and a static stretch. We intend to test you and test your knowledge based on everything you've heard, everything you've seen, and anything that's been coming up on the screen while you've been watching. So there have been some really key points of information for you. They are keywords from GCSE and some of them even A-level as well. They will have been popping up throughout. There would have been flexion and extension, muscular contractions, names of muscles, names of bones, links to the FITT principle. So good luck with those tests. Your PE teachers will be setting you those shortly, and we're looking forward to seeing some great results. Please also send in any videos of you performing if you've got the opportunity to do that. If you can you try to record your heart rate before you exercise? And can you record your heart rate again after exercise and maybe record that down somewhere? Remember, you're trying to hit a heart rate of above 124 beats per minute as a minimum. Some of you will go beyond that, up to 175, and some of you will possibly go beyond that, up towards your maximum heart rate. Maximum heart rate, remember, is 220 minus your age. Some of you might get above 85% of your maximum heart rate, so you'll be up into the 180s and beyond. So please share us your heart rates. If you can't do a heart rate, it's not a bother, but you can all give yourself a score out of 20. How hard did you try? Let your PE teacher know. If you really didn't try very hard and your heart rate isn't high at all, then I would suggest that is somewhere under 10, between 6 and 10. If you really worked quite hard and you got built up a really nice sweat, that's probably somewhere in the region of 14s and 15s. And if you couldn't have tried any harder, you were absolutely shattered, you were flat out, then I would suggest you're probably right up there in the 1890s or 20s where you really put in a maximal effort. Well done, thanks for listening, and we'll see you again next time.